Welcome to another episode of Acro Yoga with Super Dave. Today our pose is candlestick or shoulder stand. Okay, I'll show you a few variations, also a very fancy way to mount into shoulder stand. As for my base today, I have Mr. Amir. It's a strong base. Okay, to start off, Amir's gonna place his, he's gonna bend his knees, place his feet onto the ground. So to get in, I take my feet wider than his knees. I place my hands onto his thighs. Then I lean in so I can drop my shoulders onto his hands. Notice that the palms of his hands are on my shoulders, the top of my shoulders, and his fingertips wrap on my upper back. Okay, his arms are initially slanted so that he can meet my shoulders. I press into his feet. Couple of ways to get up. Option one, I can hop onto his knees. Then I'll start to move my bum back. Notice his wrist comes over his shoulders. That's going to produce the most stability, and then I'll extend my legs wide. You can practice with different variations. You can lift your legs straight up. If you want, you can come into Bakasana, taking the knees to the triceps. Maybe half Bakasana, one leg up. Try it on the other side. And then to lower down, same way. Feet on the knees, and lower all the way to the ground. Okay. Let's try a few variations with candlestick here. One variation is without hands on the knees. I'll place my hands right onto his arms. Okay, so I walk in. He places his hands on my shoulders. I take my hands, place it onto his arms. My peace fingers kind of wrap around his arms. And then from here, I can place my feet onto his knees. Once again, move my bum back. He can help me by lifting his knees up higher. And then I take my legs out wide. I try to relax into the pose as much as I can. And then when I'm ready to come down, I lower my feet onto his knees. And then step off. Finally, we're going to show you a fancy mount into shoulder stand, starting from standing pose. I place my toes on top of Amir's toes, and then I'll use my hands, grab onto his arms. His hands are on my shoulders. Okay, he'll start to rock down. He lifts his legs up. He notices my hips go over my shoulders first. I press into his hands, and then I find the balance here. To come down, we connect feet again. He bends his knees, lowers up, and I pull them up to a standing position. Okay, give that a few rounds of practice. Make sure you're practicing with a spotter behind you, especially for that mount up. There's a tendency for the flyer to fall over top. In terms of just spotting position, you just want to be kind of in a warrior one stance, and then the hands are behind the flyer's hips. Okay? So that concludes this episode of Acro Yoga with Super Dave. Join us tomorrow for the next pose.